Detroit Tigers select Casey Mize, a right-handed pitcher from Auburn University in Auburn, Alabama.
That was the moment 2 summers ago when the Tigers made Casey Mize the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft. This is the moment today. Casey Mize entering guaranteed rate field as a Detroit Tiger, ready to make his major league debut tonight in Chicago.
Does this kid look like Mr. Tiger?
The pitch to K-line. There's a base hit to left field.
How about this one? An MVP? Could you imagine this as the face of a franchise? Or him, the epitome of grit and desire? How about a kid that grew up at Canfield in the Lodge? Does that look like an icon? What about these kids? Do they look like the gold standard of infield excellence? Or him? You think anyone saw 4,000 plus hits? And what about this kid? What do you see in him?
Casey Mize in his Double-A debut, a 9-inning no-hitter.
There's no way to be sure who's destined to be a legend.
Got him swinging, and he has his no-hitter.
Whose story will live on forever. But that doesn't stop us from wondering, where's the next golden arm? The next prodigious swing?
There's a long fly ball to left down the line.
When's he gonna show up and grab a hold of history? So we'll ask again, what about this kid? Once upon a time, you wondered it about all of them. We know what they could do, but what about this kid? Tonight, another one gets his chance.
Another picture-perfect night in Chicago. The White Sox have had their way with the Tigers this season and this series, but that man right there hopes to change the fortunes for the Tigers not only this year, but for the future of the franchise here on Fox Sports Detroit. Hi, everyone. It is the most anticipated debut of a Detroit athlete in a long, long time, certainly for the Tigers. Casey Mize takes the mound for the first time as a major leaguer. With Hall of Famer Jack Morris, I'm Matt Shepard. He's not the only one. Second time in league history that 2 major league starters will oppose one another from the first round in their debuts. Jack, they've got to be really nervous.
Yeah, there's some nervous energy on both sides tonight, but the one thing we know about our guy, Casey Mize, is he's already had to deal with other people's expectations. And he's been the number one in college draft. He's been the guy that's been through all these expectations. I think he knows how to deal with it. And tonight begins his lifelong journey of being a major league pitcher.
Doesn't want to be just good. He wants to be an all-time great. He has the stuff and the makeup to do that. What do we expect to see from his arsenal tonight?
I don't expect anything but him throwing strikes. I don't think he's going to be as nervous as a lot of people because his mental attitude is so strong. He's got 3 dynamite pitches, fastball command being the best of them all. You can see how he can locate in and out of the strike zone with his fastball. He's got a pitch that they haven't seen. The White Sox haven't seen this in this series. It's his split finger. It's a forkball in my opinion, but it's a ball that breaks straight down, changes speeds, and gets hitters out front. And then he's got a really good slider too that he can throw across the plane to a hitter. It's got both depth and break. And Casey, number 1, he can read a hitter, and number 2, he can put the ball where he wants to. It's a great combination.
This is the moment he's been working for his entire life. We will talk with his father, Jay, later on in our broadcast, but this is the night for Casey Mize to show everybody why he was taken 1-1 by the Detroit Tigers. He's ready to embrace the moment. We can't wait to bring it for you. Casey Mize and the Tigers in Chicago against the White Sox on Fox Sports Detroit is right around the corner. Brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Casey Mize told us earlier this season, I'm always trying to learn. The day I stop trying to learn is the day I fall behind. He will learn a little bit more about the major leagues through Grayson Greiner and other teammates here on his debut. He is ready for the biggest professional moment of his career. It's what he has lived for since he was a child. We can all relate to a certain extent. He has a lot of family support there with him all the way.
Hey Case, I am so proud of you and all your hard work. I can't wait to watch you tonight, and I feel so blessed to have been with you on this journey. I love you so much, and go Tigers.
Hey baby, congratulations. We are so excited, and even though we can't be in the stadium with you, we'll be nearby cheering you on.
Congratulations, buddy. It's an awesome day. We love you.
We're beyond proud of you. I cannot wait to see what you do in the future and all the things you're going to accomplish. We love you.
Same here, Casey. Super proud of you. Can't wait to see you in the majors. I know Tally will take care of you so you can focus on your career. Go Tigers!
Hey, Case, we're all real proud of you. You earned this. You deserve it. It's a big day for you, so enjoy it. But be calm, be collective, be yourself up there. And remember what Pop used to say, rock and fire.
Hoping to bring that fire tonight in Chicago. What he must be feeling right now. He can't wait to take the mound.
He wants to throw that first pitch, I can tell you that.
He sure looks like it. And he's got a nice lineup to try and help support him. The Tigers batting order presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Jonathan Scope this year against Chicago is batting .421 with a couple of homers. First time we will see Jorge Bonifacio and Grayson Greiner in the series. Bonifacio called up today.
Tigers offense is going to be facing another rookie making his major league debut. Dane Dunning, the right-hander, is going to toe the rubber for the White Sox. He underwent Tommy John surgery in the 2019 season, so he hasn't pitched in a couple years. But there you see his minor league numbers. He's been very good. He's a strong kid. He's got a power sinker, a slider, and a changeup. So this should be a lot of fun tonight.
Another SEC guy. He's out of the University of Florida. The White Sox starting defense is brought to you by Mary Grove Awnings. Nomar Mazar in right field had 7 putouts last night. Yohan Moncada has started 10 double plays, more than any other American League third baseman. Tigers hoping to get to Dunning quickly, and they'll do it with Jamer Candelario ready to step into the batter's box. What an exciting night this is.
Well, Ron Gardenhire has thrown a different look out there. He's mixed up the lineup due to a couple injuries, but Jamer Candelario is going to get the leadoff spot tonight, hitting from the left side.
First pitch swinging, a drive over the head of Mazzara. Candelario hustling in for a leadoff double, and he's got it.
What a great sign. First pitch. We've seen that before you blink your eyes. Guys are rattle-a-tatting the balls around the ballpark. Well, guess what? We can play that game. Look at Candy sitting right on that first pitch fastball, and a line drive over Mazzara's head.
What did you say about young pitchers yesterday? They like to start out with fastballs.
Yeah, they're gonna try to establish that right away. So a smart hitter is gonna recognize that first time through.
Inside to Nico Goodrum, who bats second in the lineup tonight. Went 1 for 4 last night.
Dunning's got 2 different types of fastballs. A 4-seamer to a left-hander will be coming in pretty straight. The 2-seamer will have a good sink down and away. There's the, well, that's probably his changeup right there. Good movement on that. So important to try to manufacture a run here in the first inning and let Mize take the mound with the lead.
1-2 now to Nico Goodrum.
It's got to be a lot of new energy for the ball club too, because this not only affects the kid on the mound, it affects the entire team. They know what this kid's all about. They've been wanting him.
Swing and a miss. Goodrum goes down with the first strikeout of the night for Dane Dunning.
Elevates a fastball and beats Nico up in the zone. They're going to save that ball for Dunning.
Like they did for Tarek Skubal last night. He had a strikeout in his major league debut.
Just don't go ask the other guy if he'll sign it for you.
That happened to you before, didn't it?
Not to me, but I'll tell a story later in the game if you remind me about that.
Here's Miguel Cabrera. Hoping to drive in a run here. That's Zach Collins behind the plate for Chicago, his first start of the season. And the reason Chicago decided to go with Collins is because he caught Dunning in A and AA ball. So very familiar with one another. Blows it by Cabrera to make it 1-1.
Well, that's a good reason. Kids know each other, have a pretty good idea how to work with each other. The only problem is Collins probably doesn't know the major league hitters as well as both James McCann and Yasmiel Grandal. Yasmani Grandal, excuse me.
1-1. Tried to stretch the zone. Instead, it's 2-1. Hey, fans, if Detroit hits 3 home runs in this game, visit a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That'd be really fun. The 2-1 popped up. Abreu takes control for the second out.
Miggy wants that one back. He just missed it. One more shot to get that leadoff double in and around to score.
Now they'll leave it up to Jonathan Schoop.
Dunning got away with a slider that stayed right over the heart of the plate.
Look at the numbers in the series for Jonathan Schoop. Huh?
He's had a big series. And he's hit the ball hard.
Just going to say that. Squaring it up really well. Home run last night. That one gets by Collins.
Well, we say go ahead, pitchers, and double up. We'll let them double up on that one, won't we? Spiked it in. See, Collins didn't shift. He just tried to backhand it. Got a little lazy back there. And I bring that up because I know catching coaches get so annoyed with catchers. You know, they work on that over and over. They get beat up in practice on shifting.
The 1-0 on the ground to Moncada. Tigers strand one. Now will play behind Casey Mize. Here comes his first pitch as a major leaguer. We've got it for you. It's been building and building since he was a child. Now he takes the mound in Chicago. A potent Chicago lineup. He's considered the 8th best prospect in the majors. What's he got for us?
Well, I hope I get to say this for a long, long time. Tonight's starting pitcher for the Tigers is Casey Mize. It's presented by MGM Grand Detroit. And Casey is a kid, #1 draft choice, #1 in the country out of Auburn University. Threw a no-hitter in AA, his first appearance in AA ball back in April 28th of last year. And he's got tremendous minor league numbers. He's ready for this day.
Tremendous numbers at Auburn as well. Now he faces Tim Anderson and throws one just outside, 1-0.
Facing probably the hottest hitter in baseball right now.
Skies one to right. Bonifacio tested right away. 1 away. Here's the Tigers defense brought to you by Goodman Acker. Bonifacio just made that play. 4 games started in right field last year. Jonathan Schoop has 94 total chances at second base, second most among American League second basemen. And Grayson Greiner with a big deal tonight, Jack, catching Mize, making sure he's on point.
Well, Grayson was able to catch him quite a bit, spring training and this summer camp, so he's familiar with him.
Facing Yohan Moncada. Dandy of a pitch at the low part of the zone.
Really good moving fastball. That's a two-seamer that just breaks away, down and away to the lefty. Then paints the inside with a slider. Just a little cutter slider right there. So we've shown him two different planes on two different sides of the plate. Maybe the splitter's coming here. Whoops. I'm sure it was. He overthrew it. And that's just that's adrenaline, nerves, and you know, a big dog trying to show a little dog who belongs in the neighborhood.
I like that.
Changeup.
1-2 to Moncada. Oh, got him. Save that one.
Wow.
First of many in his major league career.
Look at the depth. This is a changeup right here, and the ball just absolutely sinks. Really good the way he turns it over, and that ball just runs like crazy, changes speeds. Actually, I gotta admit, Grayson Greiner crossed me up. The wiggle is not a changeup. That's his split finger right there. So we'll talk about it later.
Outside to Jose Abreu. Here's the family after that first career major league strikeout. Watching in Chicago together. Inside to Abreu.
It's so important for young pitchers to keep their focus. You know, what separates Casey and Tarek Skubal and why they got to the big leagues quicker than a lot of other kids is because they have the ability to focus. And in the big leagues, you've got to keep it going.
A rifle shot back up the middle for a base hit for Jose Abreu.
Abreu fought off a high fastball right there. Jammed him a little bit, didn't barrel it up, but it's something that, again, a professional hitter is going to handle it. And now Casey will go out of his stretch for the first time tonight.
Here's Eloy Jimenez. Jimenez 0 for 4 last night, 1 for 8 in this series. In there for strike one.
Lance Barksdale calling balls and strikes behind the plate. He's the crew chief of this group.
Now the 0-1. Off of Grayson Greiner on a foul tip, 0-2. Here's the White Sox batting order presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Good thing that Casey Mize was able to get Tim Anderson out, who was 11 for 19 with 4 homers against the Tigers this year. Zach Collins bats 8th and Adam Engel 9th. First time we've seen them in the series here in Chicago. It's 0-2 to Eloy Jimenez. Oh, nice pitch. Just missed. 1-2 to Jimenez. We'll talk with Casey Mize's father, Jay, watching us in Chicago, get his nervous thoughts. He's been pacing around an awful lot. We know that. And I don't blame him one bit.
Here comes the splitter right here.
The 1-2.
Whoop.
Over-torqued that one again.
Great job by Greiner right there to get out. See how he just shuffled to his right as fast as he could. And he really pulled that split finger there. But what Casey's already shown us is his ability to move the ball on both sides of the plate. Different looks for all the hitters. They can't just sit on one thing.
A guy who's always been around the zone. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Couple of strikeouts in the first inning of his first major league game. He can now take a deep breath. He walks to the Tigers dugout after 14 pitches and a scoreless ball game. We'll talk to his father when we return. It looks like he belongs, Casey Mize. Good first inning for the Tigers as we head to the top of the second, and we welcome in Casey's father, Jay Mize, watching with his family, his wife, Rhonda. Casey's brother, Cody Mize, his wife, Tally Mize, and the in-laws, Tina and Chris Mildy. Jay, how nervous were you for that first inning?
Hey, guys, I think I blacked out like 3 times.
Well, first of all, congratulations to the whole family. We know it takes a lot of support and sacrifice to have a kid get to this level, and you deserve a lot of credit. Your entire family, you got a great kid, not just a great pitcher. What do you expect? I mean, you've been through some big moments. You watched his college career. You've seen this kid excel all the time. What do you expect in tonight's game?
I expect him to have a good game, really. I mean, I don't have any real unreasonable expectations, but I think he'll get through 6 innings. I mean, I'm hoping that's what happens. The first innings normally is rough inning. He got through that pretty good. I'm hoping he can settle on the end now and keep rocking on through.
Jay, what was the moment like when he first called you and told you about this big moment, the opportunity?
Oh man, it was a special moment. Really, he couldn't get us on the phone at first. We were at a wedding in Springville, and we called him back, and he told us about it. And then right after he told us about it, he said, "You can't tell anybody else about it." And I'm like, "What?" So anyway, we had to wait before we told anybody else. Had to hold that for a couple of days. So, but yeah, very special moment. I think well-earned moment, well-deserved. The kid's been working hard his whole life, so he's been working for this moment.
Jay, when did you know? When did you know that your kid was a little special compared to everybody else that pitched on the mound, and had an idea that it would take him not only to a great college career, but we're going to see it. I'm confident that he's going to have a great major league career.
He just kept on not only just talking about it, but he kept on working toward it. And, when he just kept putting the work in, finally, I think it was 14 or 15 years old, I said, well, he's past me. So I got in touch with another coach over in Georgia, Chris McCraney, and that's, he took off from there.
Jay, everybody talks about his poise and his maturity. Where do you think that stems from?
I don't know. Casey's always been a cool kid under pressure. He handles pressure very well. He's the guy you want in there at crunch time. He can handle it.
We call it in the big leagues being able to slow everything down, because this game can speed up on you. Do you think that's something that Pops is able to hand to him? Is it something that you had talks with him about?
I hope so. I think I'm pretty cool under pressure, but I hope so. I think he got a lot of his athleticism from his mom, so I'll take credit for that part.
The butterflies must be churning throughout that entire room. How did you spend your day getting ready for this moment?
Well, we just got to the hotel. We just hung out. I mean, just trying to unwind. Of course, we can't really see Casey and Tally right now because of all the team protocols with the COVID. So it's just a wave as they go by pretty much. But it's just us hanging out. And then Tally told us about this place over here. So we're getting to be with family now. We've got a few friends here. Still not as big as what we wanted, but we'll take it. It's a great day.
Were you able to fly up from Alabama? Did you guys get in the car and take a little road trip?
Our plan was to rent a car, and we had some really great friends after we had already rented a car call us up and say, hey, we told you when Casey was in his second year at Auburn that we were going to fly you to his debut game, and that's what we're doing Wednesday. So we actually flew up here, so it was really cool.
Jay, it's great stuff. We appreciate it. We hope to see you in person really soon. Enjoy the rest of your son's magic moment here in Chicago. Thank you, my friend.
Appreciate you guys.
Casey Mize goes to work against Chicago here in the second. Edwin Encarnacion, Nomar Mazara, and Danny Mendick in against the Tigers prize rookie, who struck out 2 in the first, needed 14 pitches to get through the inning. And the first pitch fouled back by Encarnacion.
There's something a little different about Casey in the way he kind of wraps his pitches up by his head, and I think it jumps on it. The 94 doesn't equate to what a hitter sees. They're seeing something a little faster than that. The reason I say that, we saw Tim Anderson hit a fly ball to right field on a ball that yesterday and the day before he crushed. We just saw Edwin miss a ball right down the middle that he usually crushes, and they're a little tardy on it. So Casey's got a little deception along with his great command.
Here's the 1-2.
Uh-oh.
Hammered to left. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is a fair ball. Edwin Encarnacion with a solo homer to get the White Sox on the board to start the second.
Well, there is something different about big league hitters, and the whole thing is you can't make mistakes, especially to a really hot hitting team. Now this is a slider that he actually, we're going to see the second to last pitch first. This is a slider, 88-mile-an-hour slider that stays up in the zone. And then the next one, he probably overthrows it. He leaves it middle in, and you see just right in the wheelhouse of Edwin Encarnacion.
Nomar Mazara sprays it to left. Reyes going back over his head and off the wall. Mazara has himself a double.
I just want to let our listeners know that there's no harm in what we're watching right now. These are great lessons for a young pitcher because you're facing probably the hottest hitting team in baseball. And they're going to remind you and show you in an early part of your learning experience that mistakes will be hurt. And I think it's an absolute perfect time for a Tarek Skubal and a Casey Mize to be pitching, because it's going to show them in a short period of time what they're going to need to do and what will work and what won't work.
Here's Danny Mendick. Yeah, it's a team, Jack, you're right. I mean, they are red hot. Homers now in 20 of their last 25 games. Three hits against Casey Mize, 2 extra base hits. Here's the 1-0 to Mendick. Chopper back to Mize. He's going to go to third, and they're going to get Mazara.
That was great. Smart heads up play there. He saw that Mazara was not even close to third base. A good athletic move. Let's watch it develop here. A little one hopper right up to Casey. He looks at third. He gets rid of it quick. Mazara's dead meat.
It's called having your head in the game, right?
Knowing where the runners are.
Here's Zach Collins.
First time we've seen Collins now in this series, left-handed hitter. Again, good movement there. He probably got a little of the plate, and you know, the better the hitter, the more movement he needs. But still pounding the zone, getting ahead in the count. That's so key.
Yeah, the Tigers catchers in spring training told us he knows how to pitch. He's got good command. Here's the 0-1 to Collins. A little high. And the 1-1. Good pitch to make it 1-2.
That could have been the splitter right there. Saw the depth and the drop of that pitch. You know, that's the kind of pitch you can double up. You just started it a little bit lower, and if it bounces out of, you know, below the knee, maybe even bounces on the plate, it's still going to be a swing and miss pitch.
The 1-2 swung on and missed. Third strikeout of the night for Casey Mize already. 2 away in the second for Chicago.
It's such an effective pitch because a hitter's guessing fastball. He sees fastball arm speed, and then the ball just sinks and it's slower.
2 of the 3 strikeouts on the splitter. One was a cut fastball. Now here's Adam Engel. Mize delivers.
I don't know if you at home can see what I just saw, but radar gun says 90, and that ball looked like 97. You know, I don't know if you noticed that, but it sure looked like it got on there quicker than 90.
Now 1-1. Mize, the #1 right-handed pitching prospect in baseball. Delivers the 1-1. Fly ball to right. Bonifacio in foul territory. Makes the catch up against the netting. Chicago gets 1, but Mize boasts another strikeout. It's 1-0 Chicago.
You know, she went crazy. So that was awesome. And then after that, you know, we had a glass of wine and celebrated. And then I called my brother and my parents, and then we called her parents. And so we couldn't really tell people beyond that. But it was definitely it was a really cool night.
Sometimes that's the hardest part, not telling anybody else. Game Break brought to you by Xfinity. Casey Mize and the Tigers trailing 1-0, hoping to get it back. Rick Anderson told us earlier today that he's told Casey Mize, let's have some fun, man. I want to see you smile. Enjoy yourself in a moment like this.
Yeah, you know, pitching coaches become like dads sometimes. And you're pulling so hard for your guy. And especially, it's like a young kid, right? I mean, Rick Anderson feels the same thing as I'm sure Jay Mize does right now. He's pulling so hard for this kid. And he may have more nerves and energy that he doesn't know how to express than Casey. Casey has some control. Rick Anderson has none.
The 1-2 to Grayson Griner. He went too far.
4th strikeout already for Dane Dunning.
Yeah, he's looked good too.
Yeah, he has.
He was more of a reliever at Florida. A 1st-round pick of Washington was Dunning. And then traded to Chicago with Lucas Giolito, who starts against Spencer Turnbull tomorrow, and Reynaldo Lopez for Adam Eaton. Now, it worked for Eaton because he helped the Nationals win a world championship.
That could be the future pitching staff right there. So Turnbull, Boyd, Skubal, and Mize.
Isaac Paredes 1 for 7 in his first 2 major league games with a couple of runs driven in. The 1-1 to him.
He's hoping for that same pitch that Edwin got, something he can jump on, spin on. Now with 2 strikes, he's going to have to protect the plate a little bit.
Now the 1-2, swung on and missed. Back-to-back punch-outs for Dunning to start the Tigers' 3rd. We had mentioned Washington. It's important too. I'll tell you why. It's time for your T-Mobile ticket to the game. Best #1 overall picks in MLB history. These are just some of the ones that we brought up because of wins. You know, the war above replacement, the wins above replacement with Alex Rodriguez. But Casey Mize is also a guy, as Candelario swings and misses. Casey Mize is one of those guys who wasn't drafted out of high school and yet then becomes #1 overall. Steven Strasburg of Washington was the latest to do that in 2009. Here's the 0-1 to Candelario, quickly 0-2.
Well, Dunning's kind of carving up the Tiger hitters right now. He's having his way with command, and it's very impressive to watch this guy too. Moving the ball in and out of the zone, changing eye levels.
Candelario has Detroit's lone hit tonight. It was a double back in the 1st to lead off the game.
See the shift on Candy there to the right side.
Went too far, and Dunning strikes out the side in the third. We head to the bottom of the third. Mize with his second time through the Chicago order.
But also happy for Casey because he is very smart, he's very mature, he's meticulous in his mechanics, and to see him having success, very, very happy. It's a pretty neat thing.
Owner Chris Ilitch, who has been there every step of the way. I mean, he went on a scouting trip with Al Avila and David Chad to see Mize pitch at Auburn. And probably one of the cooler moments for Mize early in his professional career. Remember when he threw the no-hitter in Double-A last season? Well, Chris Ilitch sent him a letter congratulating him. So
yeah, that's really neat stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of guys that play in the minor leagues that are envious of that, but that builds character too. And Chris obviously can't do that with every player.
Strikes out Tim Anderson.
There's the equalizer right there. That was a split finger, gets ahead of him, and see a guy trying to hit a home run, pulled off a little because he's out in front of it. Watch the depth of this splitty. Great pitch.
That's like headline news that Anderson's 0 for 2 against Detroit. Now it's Yoan Moncada. He was the first strikeout victim of Casey Mize's major league career.
Well, Mize is probably so competitive that he knows what Dane Dunning has done over there with 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. He's got a chance to do it himself.
Never faced one another, despite both being in the SEC. Mize out of Auburn University, Dunning out of Florida. Although Dunning did play college ball with a lot of guys that Casey Mize knows. Alex Faedo, one of them. Pete Alonso, Logan Shore, Brady Singer, all part of that Gators club, as well as Jonathan India. So they had a loaded Gator squad.
Well, that was quite a team in college right there.
Sure was.
Again, working ahead in the count. He's going to call for another split finger.
The 1-2, grounded softly to first.
Nice pitch, good result.
And now a message from DTE Energy.
A lower energy bill and an efficient home are clicks away. Go to DTEinteractiveHome.com.
Casey Mize has looked sharp. 2 outs here in the third. Here's Jose Abreu.
I don't know if we need to remind folks, but look at where his pitch count is. Pretty darn good shape, even though he gave up a run and a few hits in the second inning. Real good shape right now. Strike 1. Boy, that's good to hear. So much fun to say. Strike 1.
Now the 0-1. Jammed it.
Man, that ball just ate him up. Running, tailing, two-seam fastball. Yeah, it's a split finger again. Ball really tailed inside. Doesn't always break straight down. Kind of broke back in. Oh, that was the pitch to. Sorry, folks. That was the pitch to Tim Anderson. That was not the last pitch.
Now the 0-2. Missed inside. You're seeing something from Mize, though, second time through the order, especially in the at-bat against Abreu, who singled off
giving him different looks. Yeah. He recognized that he left one up out over the plate. And not that he can't go back to it, but he wants to know what he looks the worst on. He wants to know if he's got a weakness.
See ya!
Another
punch outs here in the third for Mize. 5 for the night. That was a nice 11-pitch inning from Casey Mize to get through the third. And even Jose Abreu had to nod in agreement. Can't be home to watch the Tigers? Just download Fox Sports Go on your mobile device and stream Tigers games live. Never miss another Tigers game again with Fox Sports Go. It's been a fun one so far, hasn't it, Jack? I mean, look, you're a pitcher, so you love this kind of stuff. But overall,
I do. Both guys are dealing for young kids. They're dealing out there. It'd be a lot more fun if our offense could get in the spirit of things here.
Goodrum quickly in an 0-2 hole.
But sometimes you just got to tip your hat to what's going on. And right now, Dane Dunning is pitching his heart out too. Over the top curveball. He doesn't have that split finger, but really good command of a slider. Curveball occasionally thrown. He spiked it there, so it was in a great location in case Nico is over aggressive.
Here's the 1-2. Goodrum struck out swinging in the first.
Good take, tough pitch. Full count now. See if we can get the leadoff man on. Here's the last pitch, slider. Just missing.
How'd you take that? Good eye by Goodrum. Now the payoff. Got under it. Shallow left. Moncada is out. Jimenez is in. And it's Eloy Jimenez.
Look at Eloy taking charge out and left. Atta boy.
Remember earlier in the series when Luis Robert traveled, what, 100 feet?
Yeah.
To call him off?
30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the funniest things I've seen this year.
Oh, man, that was funny. That was so funny. He said, you know what? It's one thing another outfielder taking control, but not an infielder. I'm not giving in to a third baseman.
I have priority over you, dude.
Right. You're in my territory now, baby. Here's Cabrera. That's funny. A couple balls hit pretty hard by Cabrera last night, but 1 for 3 and 2 for 7 in the series. This is what Jack was talking about. This was in the series opener. Watch Eloy Jimenez. Watch it.
He calls it off, and Jimenez doesn't move. It's 5 steps from him, and then the look is priceless. Like, really, dude?
Come
really? On. This is priceless.
And Luis Robert was just smiling at it. That's a foul ball. All good-natured stuff. Those guys, you will say this, and look, Chicago's rolling, right? They've won 3 straight. They're having fun.
Yeah, they are.
A lot of smiles.
They're trying to one-up each other.
Yeah.
That's a good sign for a team that's winning.
Here's the 1-2 to Cabrera. Wouldn't chase, and it's even. The 2-2 right back at him, and he protected himself nicely with a leather.
Sometimes it's just an instinctual reaction for a pitcher. That's why you got to always follow that baseball, because it could be right back at your coconut.
See, he tagged that one too. Just couldn't get out of the box because Dunning made the play for the second out in the inning. Here's Chevrolet's strongest player, Jonathan Scope. Look at what he's done to lead all Major League second basemen in home run distance. He has 5 homers on the year. Only 1 on the road, and it came last night.
He's been a big plus for the Tigers this year. No question about it. His leadership, plays every day, wants to play every day. Sets a good example.
Back up the middle, and that'll get down for a base hit.
Bat died a hero.
Scope continues to rake in this series. 6th hit in the 3 games thus far.
Fastball got jammed a little bit, broke the bat, but he finds enough open air out there and green grass. The ball want to be social distance.
Here's Victor Reyes. Good stop by Collins. Sliding from his left to his right. Reyes struck out to lead off the second.
Dunning, real good pitch count right now, but first time in a while since the first inning, they've got a base runner. Put a little more pressure on him. Give Casey a little more time to just relax in the dugout.
The 1-0. High and away. Jack had mentioned Dunning with the Tommy John surgery, missing all of last year. In 2018, he went 6-3 with a 2.7 ERA in high A and double A. He's never made the AAA stop, just like Tarek Skubal has not. He debuted last night, nor has Casey Mize made that AAA stop. And he's throwing well tonight for Detroit. The 2-1 to Reyes. He's worked at 3-1. Fouls it away. Foul tipped off the face mask of Lance
Tough
Barksdale.
pitch to get a piece of right there, but he got a piece of it. Fastball that runs up and in, that's a lot of times where a pitcher wants to pitch it. Lance Barksdale takes one off the face mask.
Ready to get back to work. Another payoff to Reyes.
Get through.
It did get through on the right side. Hard hit. Scope all the way to third. Tigers with runners at the corners with 2 away here in the 4th. Check out the latest Tigers news. Get behind the scenes stories and more with Tigers Magazine, a free downloadable magazine designed exclusively for Tigers fans of all ages. To download your copy of the latest edition of Tigers Magazine, visit tigers.com today.
Runners at the corner now for the Tigers, and another scoring opportunity. Jorge Bonifacio, first time up, got chasing a slider. He's got to try to keep the ball in the zone, especially early in the count. Go ahead and be ready for that first pitch strike. Pick up that RBI. Get this game tied up.
Bonifacio kept himself in shape down there in Toledo and said, I just told myself you need to work more than you did in the past to get back to the major leagues and put big time numbers back up. The 1-0.
Tough to lay off that pitch. You kind of get guessing. Well located slider. You can see how he cheats a little bit, gets that bat going, and then recognizing it too late, knowing that it's going to be a ball. Check swing, but he went too far.
The 1-1.
There he goes, lays off that one. So that's just pitch recognition in 2 straight pitches. Pretty much the same pitch, same location. Fool me once, but you can't fool me twice.
Long inning for Dunning, you see there. 24 pitches so far in the inning. Here's the 2-1. Tied him up. Did he go?
Might have gone.
He did.
Yes, he did. He didn't mean to there, but his hips created this strikeout. He opens up his hips, and then he can't hold his hands back. Well, Dunning's going to have to throw another slider here. Bonifacio has shown that he hasn't adjusted to it yet. There's the slider.
And here it comes. Laid off it. Another full count.
Big pitch for Dunning. Will he go back to the same pitch? Jorge has not shown that he can hit it yet, but he's got to throw it for a strike. What do you got the most confidence with?
Three-two. Swung on and missed. Well, my partner had one of the best forkballs ever. He'll break down Casey Mize' splitter when we come back.
Look at our bell tire pitch by pitch for Casey Mize. It's his split finger fastball, and you can see the depth and the drop right there. The ball is just coming, and it's a fastball arm action, right? And the ball just sort of flutters and goes down in the zone. It's more of a change-up speed, but the hitter sees fastball arm action, and then the ball drops like a curveball. So very effective pitch for him tonight. Most of his strikeouts have come on that so far. I'll give you a little better shot of it here in about a half inning or so. You see again, there's the drop. The ball's just spinning down. It doesn't have quite the rotation of a curveball, and I'll explain that in a minute. But he gets it to drop, and he throws it slower.
What's the difference between his splitter and your forkball back in the day?
I'm going to show you in a half inning here. We'll get a demonstration going. But
struck out Jimenez his first time out. Gets him to roll over foul to make it 2-2.
He may throw it right here. You've got to be careful not to get into a pattern. But when you have a pitch that's so devastating and you know that they'll swing on top of it, it's hard not to want to throw it a lot. Slider coming here.
Here's the 2-2.
There's a couple examples of the forkball that I threw, and I'll show you the different grips.
Jimenez a slow roller to third. On the charge, Paredes. Couldn't get him.
We saw a bunch of those kind of hits last night. And when it's going good, it's going good. Here's a swing bunt. Basically is what it, in effect it is. Leadoff hit anyway.
Leadoff man on for just the second time tonight for Chicago. The other time was in the second when this guy, Edwin Encarnacion, belted a homer, his third of the season, into the left field bleachers.
Let's take a look at a graphic on the pitch usage for Casey Mize tonight. You see 38% fastballs. The splitter, 26%. The other two pitches, you can see the numbers there, but basically fastballs, he's still got that as his number one. He's got to set everything up with his fastball.
The 0-1.
Another fastball there. Edwin's trying to jump him. He'll swing out of the zone. He'll chase. Good time for a slider.
And pitching him differently than he did the first time up.
Yep.
After getting burned on the solo homer.
No, he called the slider. He's got to get it outside.
The 0-2.
He went, didn't he?
He did.
Good pitch.
Sixth strikeout of the night for Casey Mize.
That's just really reading a hitter. Well located.
Not just reading the hitter, but as you've talked about with Mize and some of these young guys, I mean, they're adapting in game.
Yep, you have to.
Pitch by pitch sometimes.
Honestly, Shep, that's what this game's all about. In-game adjustments.
Mazara doubled his first time up.
Got to keep an eye on that guy. Vary your delivery time.
fouls that one away. We talked about giving up the double, but remember, Mize then got Mazzara after the comebacker from Danny Mendick. He cut down Mazzara at third base on a nice play.
Eloy's getting a pretty good lead over there.
Here's the 1-1. Low. Casey Mize, the top right-handed prospect in all of baseball. Matt Manning isn't far behind. Nate Pearson is playing right now with Toronto. Michael Kopech opted out in Chicago. Otherwise, he'd be part of their rotation. Good pitch. 2-2 to Mazzara.
See, I think that was more of a changeup right there. Here's our defensive shifts. Infield wise.
Good lead for Jimenez. Here's the 2-2. Spoiled.
The first night, from the first game of this series, we saw Mazzara reach out and hit that ball outer part of the plate, kind of a sinking fastball to left field. Mize threw that one off the plate, and all he could do was hit over the top of it.
The 2-2 slap to first. Candelario calmly takes the bag himself. 2 away. And now a message from your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Check out the 2020 Ford F-150 now at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first.
Casey Mize's major league debut so far, he's boasted 6 strikeouts. Gave up the 1 run that took place in the second. A leadoff homer from Edwin Encarnacion. Here's Danny Mendick.
Well, we don't anticipate either starter going the distance tonight, but he can't afford the way Dunning is throwing. He's got to just stop the bleeding, stop the run production right now. He's got a runner at second base in scoring position, and so this is a very important out. Get the guys back in the dugout.
Oh, 1 to Mendick. On the ground the other way. Candelario will handle himself. Casey Mize making it happen here in the 4th. Another solid inning from the Tigers prize rookie.
Just want to take a minute to try to explain the difference between a forkball and a split finger fastball. Casey throws a split finger, and you watch his hand and how he's got his fingers spread, and the ball's kind of thrown with a little bit of tilt on his wrist, and he pulls through with his biggest finger, his middle finger. He pulls through the ball, and he gets what I call a good sinker rotation with the ball. It's not a true curveball rotation, but he's using the seams well in order to get that ball to move. And what it really does is the ball's a changeup that sinks. Now his split finger is kind of spread like this, and he throws it with his wrist sort of this way in this direction. My forkball was a little deeper in the ball, and I pulled it straight down. The ball came out and tumbled like a curveball, but it had the same effect. Casey's is a little bit shallower of depth, but he gets the same reaction because it's an off-speed pitch, and he's got great movement.
And so far, he's done a nice job of adjusting to what Chicago brings to the plate. He's allowed 4 hits and the 1 run. Tigers hoping to get him at least the equalizer. They've got the leadoff man on in Jacoby Jones here in the 5th. Oh, right back at Dunning. He did it again. Second time that he's robbed a Tiger of a base hit right back up the box.
That gets scary right there.
That'll get the heart rate up. Oh, 104 miles per hour off the bat of Grayson Greiner.
I'll tell you, Shep, if he doesn't catch that ball, that could catch him right in the face. That gets a little scary.
Now here's Isaac Paredes. See if the Tigers do anything with Jones here, maybe putting him in motion some way. Reyes stole a bag earlier. See if Jones is on the move at all. Trying to stir something up against this Chicago team that has been red hot and averaged 8 runs per game in their last 4 against the Tigers.
Well, you wonder if both managers will try to get involved. This is a 1-run game. See Matt Foster warming up in the Sox pen.
It's 2-0 to Isaac Paredes.
Don Cooper, the pitching coach, he's keeping a close eye on his prized rookie. Hitters count here.
It gets by Abreu, and Jones will jog his way to second.
Jose lost his glove. Well, he kind of jammed it, I think, into the right knee. No, he just it fell off. It's a good thing because Jacoby might have been out. I think he was fooled on that. Scoring position now.
With only 1 away.
Another really good opportunity for the Tigers here.
The 2-0. Good eye by Paredes to make it 3-0. Outside. 2 men aboard here in the Tigers' 5th.
First walk of the game.
There's no better time to confirm your membership in the Detroit Tigers 1901 Society. Enjoy great seats, unprecedented access, invitations to exclusive events, and more. Join our can't wait list today at tigers.com/1901. Don Cooper ready to talk to Dane Downing here about this rough 5th. Good at bat by Isaac Paredes.
Talking to Rick Anderson today about Tarek Skubal and Casey Mize. He says these mound visits, which he expected to have to make a couple with Skubal and possibly even Mize tonight. So far, so good. He said they're more about trying to get a kid to relax, and sometimes it's a simple thing as, hey, I haven't seen you smile yet. Why don't you try smiling, and you don't have to say too much. Kids are aware. They've been through this before.
You see Mize is the 7th Tiger to make his major league debut. Numbers are up this year, on pace anyway, from a year ago.
Yeah, they are.
And I wonder why that is.
I just
in
think
a 60-game season.
I think a lot of major league teams have so many young players that they're not going to get a good look at because there's no minor league season this year. So they're given a chance because of fans not being in the ballpark. Great time to get a kid some experience.
Great time for Jeimer Candelario to come through, huh? 1st and 2nd, 1 away. Candelario doubled his first time up, struck out in the 3rd.
Yeah, he got the hit to lead off the game double. Just needs to find a way to put a ball into the outfield right now.
Here's the 0-1. Lifts it to deep right. Back goes Mazzara. Back goes Engel, and that ball's gone. A 3-run shot for Jamer Candelario, and he screams, "Let's go!"
Boy, you know, that's one of those thrillers for an outfielder. He's down right to the wall. He knows he gets to leap and make himself a hero, rob the hitter. Game of inches. This one won by Jamer Candelario.
That gives Casey Mize and the Tigers the lead.
Just missed this ball.
So close.
I think he had the height, Shep, but it was off a little bit.
Instead, it's Candelario's second homer of the season. Dunning's night is over. Tigers lead it by 2. Chicago goes to the bullpen. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire, home of the lowest tire price, period, and a contact-free experience. And by GMC. Visit your local Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealer today for exceptional offers all month long. Casey Mize, once, twice, 3 times a Tiger at Springville High School in Alabama, in Auburn, and now at the major league level as well. Jamer Candelario just gave him the lead. Belted a 3-run homer. And it's 3-1 Detroit with Nico Goodrum batting and only 1 away.
Yeah, this is how you cook up a W. You have a good pitching performance. You get some timely hits. You take the lead. And now it's up to Mize to try to shut the door for the remainder of his outing. No penalty for adding on here, Nico.
Here's Matt Foster on for Chicago. It's a Wallside Windows pitching change. He's thrown 10 2/3 scoreless over his last 7 appearances. 2 of those were opener starts.
No ERA this year. About time to have that happen, change.
Goodrum 0 for 2, fouls it back. All 3 at-bats, he's been in an 0-2 hole. The 0-2 from Foster. Been a long inning. That's a good thing for Casey Mize, but he needs to stretch some things out and stay loose.
Yeah, it's a good and bad all in one. You're happier than heck. You got a lead now. You feel comfortable. Good changeup right there to Nico.
Second time that Goodrum has been punched out tonight.
See how far Nico was out in front. A little tail on that changeup, but it's about speed, right? You're sitting on something that's going to be really hard, and then you get the softer one.
2 away. Here's Miguel Cabrera.
They've been beating Miggy a lot with fastballs. There's one coming right here. See if he gets it.
Fouls it back. Remember, Cabrera squared up a good pitch from Dunning last time up. Dunning had to get that glove up quickly, otherwise his head might have been taken off.
Interesting to see if the post-game show tonight, Craig Monroe talks about Miggy. It looked like he wasn't able to push on his back leg right there. That was his issue last year. He was really pulling off that fastball. He usually drives to right field. See how he's leaning back and falling back? I wonder if that's more leg strength or if he's just trying to cheat and open up. But he's not able to get to the outside fastball right now.
Pitcher recognizes that.
Absolutely.
So you'd be painting the outside corner.
Just stay away, you know, probably a breaking ball now off the plate away.
And the 1-2. Did not go. 2-2 to Cabrera. On the ground for Tim Anderson. Off-balance throw in time, but the Tigers have claimed the lead. Jamer Candelario with a 3-run blast. His first as a left-handed hitter this year to give Casey Mize a 2-run lead as he heads to the home half of the 5th on Fox Sports Detroit. Back. The MLB app is the only place to get all your baseball action with in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, standings, and much more. Download the MLB app today, the #1 app for live baseball. Back to live baseball. Casey Mize working here in the 5th. He's allowed 4 hits, 1 homer, and struck out 8. Deals with Zach Collins first. We welcome in our partner, 84 world champion Dan Petrie, who's been watching with great interest, like everybody, on Casey Mize's debut. Peaches, your early impression as Collins finds the right field corner. Extra bases for the Chicago catcher, and a leadoff double here in the 5th.
I think this is a split finger. You see the ball drop, and this is what happens when it stays up. Didn't drop very much, right? It's kind of like a changeup left out over the middle of the plate. So you need to get that depth of the pitch. Collins right there. Laces it down the corner. Now he's got to pitch out of the stretch. You have 2 runs to work with. Still have to be aggressive and get ahead.
Dan Petrie now joins us as Adam Engel stands in against Casey Mize for the 2nd time tonight. Dan, what's been your impression so far?
Well, there's a lot. But I think the one thing that jumps out at me the most was just from the very beginning how calm he is. I mean, just look at the look on his face, and that's been the same look as he was walking in from the bullpen and then the dugout. But the other thing is all of his pitches, I've noticed, are different speeds. You know, his 2-seamer, this little cutter, slider, and split finger, they're all different. And then he even throws a couple of curveballs that are even slower. So it's like a 5-pitch mix, but each and every one of them are about 2 or 3 different miles an hour from one another. So, I mean, you might be able to identify one of them, but they're not all going to be the same speed, which really makes it tough on the hitter.
It's 0-2 to Adam Engel, who he got to pop out in the 2nd. How about the adjustments he's made, fellas, with the various hitters tonight, too? That has to impress you.
Well, that's what this game's all about. And for me, you know, the in-game adjustments. And what does he do when he's got adversity? He's had a couple guys on base, been able to have shutdown innings. Now another one right here. He's got to get through the 5th to qualify for the win with the lead, right? So this is big at bat here. Good fastball away. Couldn't get Engel to chase.
That was the other nice thing, is that, you know, he gave up the 1 run in the 2nd inning on the home run and then just kept it right there and just said, okay, I'll keep it right there until the offense takes over. And thank goodness Candy hit one out there, give him a little breathing room. He's got to be feeling really good, really strong still, and get through this inning.
Strikes out Engel for the first out here in the 5th.
And that last fastball was set up by the previous fastball. 1 up and away. He takes it, and then he runs back in. Engel was diving. You saw how he was almost falling into the left-handed hitter's batter's box.
And you see how that's like 91 miles an hour. It's like a 4-seamer or slight little cut to it. But his 2-seamer is like 93, 94. So nothing is ever straight and nothing's ever the same speed.
Third time he faces Tim Anderson tonight. Menards brings you the big money encounter. Anderson with eye-popping numbers.
Yeah, how good has he been, especially in this series?
Mize got him to fly out in the 1st, struck him out in the 3rd. The 1-0 on the ground and in the hole and under the glove of Nico Goodrum. Collins will be waved home. He'll score. Anderson has himself an RBI single. Chicago cuts the lead to 1.
It shows how good of a hitter Timmy Anderson is. This was a well-executed, well-thrown forkball, right? Look at the break. Down in the zone, but he's able to keep that head on the ball, still hands, and just pop it right through the hole. Pick up the RBI. Now it's a one-run game.
And that's just a good hitter. And you know, just a little bit, it's not up, but just a little bit, you know, it's not
down.
in the dirt. It's not in the dirt, right.
Wasn't down.
Right. And then both infielders did a nice job. I mean, they're diving, they're doing everything they can to keep the ball on the infield, you know, so it doesn't make the outfield, you know, so it allows the run to score. But again, it's a ground ball. It just happens to find a hole.
A strikeout and a ground out for Yoan Moncada so far tonight against Casey Mize. Fouls it away. What a test for Mize, too. This lineup has been red hot. One of the better lineups we've seen in the American League.
It would be such a boost for this kid to be able to get through this half inning, no more runs, and then maybe even get through the sixth. We'll see. But yeah, this is a red hot offense. How much fun is Tim Anderson having?
Superman mode right there, huh? The 1-1 to Moncada. Oh, that was a nasty pitch.
See, that's the splitty that he wanted to throw to Anderson right there, Danny. Did you see
exactly
the location of that one?
Exactly. I think it's fun to watch this now with Anderson over at first base with stolen base, you know, thinking about stealing second base. And just where is he going to throw this one? He wants to keep that ball down, but he also wants to give Grayson Grinder
there
a
he
shot.
goes. There he goes. And he won't get the chance. Anderson will hold on at second.
Well, it's a fastball. Danny was calling the right pitch, right? You want to give the catcher a chance, a little bit high, and Grayson got excited, and he forgot to catch the ball. Just pops out of his glove.
Tying run in scoring position for Chicago.
Now he can afford to throw one down and in the dirt, though. You might see that split finger, and hopefully Moncada swing over the top.
Steady fouls it away.
It's something he's going to learn for the really good hitters is when he has two strikes, he's got to bury that pitch. It's got to almost hit the plate. He can't leave it just in the zone. It's got to break from the zone out of the zone, the bottom very part of the zone.
They can stay back just enough to one-hand it and hit a line drive into the outfield.
Right. That's the difference between that and a swing and miss.
2-2. Oh, that was on the edge and barely outside.
On and off, I think. Tough pitch.
Yep. Tough pitch to take and a tough pitch not to get if you're the pitcher. It's full to Moncada. The payoff. Ripped to right. Bonifacio, a late jump, and he misplayed it. Anderson's home with a tying run. Moncada cruises into second. We're tied at 3.
That's got to be a hit and an error on Bonifacio and right. Left it over the middle.
Ron Gardenhire has gone out. He's gotten Casey Mize. Impressive debut for Mize despite leaving in a 3-3 ball game in the 5th.
Here's our Comerica Bank game summary. Casey Mize in his major league debut A few strikeouts early. It's kind of exciting variety of pitches. You see the family here in Chicago very excited early on. Then he makes a little bit of a mistake to Edwin Encarnacion, a home run there. Gets Abreu to strike out. He gets Edwin even up there. He punches out Engel. Leaves with a little trouble. And overall, I thought he pitched extremely well. But knowing Casey Mize, that's not good enough for him. He wants to get back out there. He would have loved to have gotten out of this mess and maybe gotten another chance for a W.
It's a great little nugget of information that he's the first Tiger in their major league debut to have at least 7 strikeouts and no walks. It shouldn't surprise us. We know he's a guy who doesn't walk many. At Auburn, in his career, 324 strikeouts and only 43 walks. That's an incredible ratio.
Yeah.
Now he gives way to Jose Cisnero with a runner in scoring position and 1 away.
You know, Jack, I'm right with you. I think he's got nothing to be ashamed of and everything to be happy with, other than he's disappointed after keeping shutting him down to 1 run. His team gets the 3. He wants to have that shutdown inning and allows them back in. But I mean, that's what he's disappointed about. He can't be disappointed about his outing whatsoever. I mean,
no, Dan,
I think he's proud as could be, and I think his parents should be too.
Well said.
Rick Anderson and Ron Gardenhire telling him a job well done for your first major league start. That wall side windows pitching change with Jose Cisnero. We saw him last night for an inning. Allowed just a walk against this White Sox club.
One of the things that I think can upset a guy that has had a lot of starts is to leave the go-ahead runner on base when you leave the game. And now you're at the mercy of that reliever to try to bail you out of some circumstances. You'd prefer to leave nobody on and still have a chance to win it.
1-2 fouled away.
Man, he's 96 on the black away, and he's still got a piece of that one. It tells you how much he's geared for something hard. You know, Cisnero can't throw that breaking ball down in the zone the way that Mize can. So he's got to pretty much stay with the heater.
The 1-2. Reaches out and pokes it to center. It carries to the warning track. Jones makes the play. Moncada advances to third. There's 2 away.
Well, you got the out and you kept the runner now at third base. It's such an important at bat for the team right now. Keep this game tied, and then it's going to be a bullpen game.
One more out to get here in the 5th. Eloy Jimenez had an infield single his last time up. One of 7 strikeout victims against Casey Mize in his debut back in the 1st. On the ground is short for Nico Goodrum. We'll go to the 6th, tied at 3 in Chicago on Fox Sports Detroit. Afternoon on Fox Sports Detroit. Spencer Turnbull and the Tigers wrap up the series on the south side of Chicago with the White Sox. Our coverage begins at 1 o'clock. Tigers live on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Go. It'll be Mickey York, Dan Petrie, and Craig Monroe on Tigers Live. Well, Casey Mize maneuvered his way through this really difficult Chicago lineup pretty well. 7 strikeouts on the night.
Showed a lot of poise, and that's what impressed me the most. He was competing. He was not intimidated by a major league club that is as hot as anybody in the game right now. Rick Anderson, like yesterday with Tarek Skubal, is kind of going over the game and kind of reminding him of things that he did well and things that he can work on.
Jonathan Schoop leading off the 6th. What do you think he did the best? Get ahead of hitters?
Yes, no walks. You know, he made him hit, and didn't get himself in trouble because of that. He fielded his position well. Made a couple heads-up plays, right? That play at third base. He covered first. You know, he's just a kid that wants to win, and he was competing. And I know it's eating away at him that he wasn't able to get out of his own mess and maybe go through the 6th. But all in all, for his first start, very impressive.
It's 2-1 to Jonathan Schoop. Schoop singled his last time up on a 1-for-2 night so far.
It's just simply a reset right now. This game starts all over.
In all honesty, both young pitchers who made their major league debut tonight looked good.
They did.
Dunning for Chicago, and of course Mize for Detroit.
Here's a slider that Scopey probably wonders, how did I miss it? It stays right up in his wheelhouse. I think he was out in front of it a little bit, but yeah, you can see he was just a tick too early.
Here's the payoff. Fought it off.
Those last two pitches, it makes you realize how absolutely talented hitters have to be to cover different looks, speeds, locations. Two fastballs.
With the single in the 4th for Schoop, he now has at least one hit in 12 of the 18 games he's played in. And a payoff, and he draws a leadoff walk here in the 6th.
Yeah, he didn't want to throw that changeup right there. He didn't have conviction in it, and he pulled it. Ends up walking Jonathan, leadoff guy.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch. Casey Mize, dazzled at times. 49 of his 73 pitches were for strikes. Got up to 96, 11 swings and misses. And soft contact for the most part, except for the Edwin Encarnacion home run. And a little history, too. Victor Reyes singled and stole a bag his last time up.
I like what I'm seeing right here with the patience at the plate. Get something you can handle. Don't help that pitcher out. Get a ball you can drive. Put a whooping on it. He's got a good changeup, Foster does, when he throws it down.
Now 1-2.
Back-to-back changeups there.
Strikes out Victor Reyes for the first out here in the 6th.
Back-to-back-to-back changeups. Last one just stayed up and away.
With one out, here's Jorge Bonifacio.
Well, he had like a little redemption there. He kind of muffed one out in right field and struck out a couple times. A good way to kind of get his first hit as a Tiger. Make something happen here. Hit it hard.
Sure did, but right at Tim Anderson, and they'll turn 2 to get out of the 6th. We remain tied at 3. Here comes Chicago in their half of the 6th.
Casey Mize is a really polished pitcher, a winner, great teammate.
Hard worker, good dude, down to earth, take care of himself.
Casey's going to attack you from 4 different quadrants and, you know, with 4 different pitches. You really don't know what's coming, but he can control them all. He can pitch wherever he wants, and you're really at his own mercy.
No question the future is bright for the Tigers, especially with those young arms. Alex Faedo, Matt Manning, Tarek Skubal, who made his debut last night. Mize here tonight, talking with Rick Anderson about the effort given.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard to listen to somebody when your emotions are high like that. Andy has a nice calming effect, and he wants to try to get you to talk about what you felt so that he can open up a conversation. And, you know, he's pulling for these kids. I know he is. Mm-hmm. And so he's just trying to let them breathe a little bit. And he'll have more to say in their next bullpen sessions. But pretty much reassuring them a lot of positive things right there.
I thought one of the funniest things that Mize said yesterday to us was that when he got on the team plane, he's like, man, it's absolutely sick. As Encarnacion waves and misses for strikeout number 1 of the night for Jose Cisnero. When people asked him, you know, the major league experience, Mize said, yeah, the plane is sick. Oh, and by the way, there's a lot of food.
It's everywhere.
And it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big difference, huh?
Well, I went from McDonald's to steak, so I you know, there is a big difference. Cisnero getting the strikeout there, leadoff man. No, everything's going to be brand new to him, and that's what's so fun about it. And I'll tell you what, most kids, they get a taste of the big leagues, do not ever want to go back to the minor leagues. That's the way it should be.
Mazzara tardy on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Cisnero. A little low to make it 1-1.
That was a changeup there, and Grayson Griner put down 3 fingers. So I think a lot of catchers are using a different set of signs now. There's so many tempting things. They think people are picking up signs. Just mix them up once in a while and change the sequence.
In there for strike 2. Mazzara, one of the new faces for Chicago this year. He came from Texas in early December for prospect Steele Walker. There's the shift on against Mazzara, who doubled in the first and went the other way.
Steele Walker,
second,
was his dad an iron worker?
I don't know, but that's a pretty cool name.
It is. It's a movie star name.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on it, missed.
Beat him upstairs.
Back-to-back punch-outs for Jose Cisnero here in the 6th. The Detroit Tigers root for our 1901 Society members. Today we salute Gary Winston of Detroit, a 1901 Society member since 1998. Thank you, Gary. We're rooting for you. For information on the Tigers 1901 Society, visit tigers.com/1901. 2 away here in the Chicago 6th. Here's Danny Mendick.
Hey, in between innings, this is kind of what happened with Casey Mize. His day was done, but he got a lot of support from his teammates and his pitching coach. His manager came over to give him a pat on the back. You know, this is like Shep said early, this is a big event for everybody, and Casey represented himself very well, I thought.
Mendick with a fly ball to right. Cisnero has a 1-2-3-6. Good ball game here in Chicago. We head to the 7th with Jones, Griner, and Paredes trying to give Detroit the lead back. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Tryon Solutions at RelyOnTryon.com. With Jack Morris and Dan Petrie, I'm Matt Shepard. Welcome back. Chicago and Detroit squaring off Game 3 of the 4-game series on the south side of the Windy City. Another wall-side windows pitching change. Steve Cishek is in for Chicago. He is their third pitcher of the night. Facing Jacoby Jones, Grayson Griner, and Isaac Paredes.
Cishek appeared in the first game, recorded an out, gave up a hit. So second appearance in this series.
At the low end of the zone to make it 0-2 to Jacoby Jones. Jones with an infield single his last time up, and he rode home on Jeimer Candelario's 3-run homer. Big night for Candelario. The 1-2 on the ground to Abreu. He'll take it himself. Tonight pitted a couple of major leaguers making their major league debut. Casey Mize for Detroit and Dane Dunning for Chicago, and their lines almost identical.
Yeah, Casey with one fewer walk and Dunning with 2 fewer hits, but both guys really represented themselves well, I think. They both gave up a home run.
Grayson Griner pops up the first pitch. Foul territory. Yohan Moncada takes care of it. And that was right in the webbing, too. That glove moved a lot from Moncada 2 away.
Well, it's Moncada's ball. Collins got in his way there and almost took away a pretty much guaranteed out.
Brian Garcia warming for the Tigers.
Cisnero did a nice job if he's done for the night. Yeah, this is going to be a bullpen game now.
A strikeout and a walk for Paredes.
See what they can do with 2 outs here. See if they can still manufacture a big inning or at least get the lead.
Driven to deep left. Stay fair. Nope, that's going to be way foul. He did that in his major league debut, and you and I both almost jumped out of the chair.
Well, this one wasn't even as far. I'm not sure it would have made it, but the way it jumps off the bat sometimes, it's hard for us in the studio. We don't have the ability to follow it live.
See how he handles the 0-2 pitch. Goes the other way to right field. Mazzara's got plenty of room. Cishek delivers a 1-2-3 7th. Here comes Chicago trying to break a 3-3 tie. Coming up, it's the DT 7th inning stretch at home.
Let's take a look at how this game came to where we are right now. Edwin Encarnacion got it started, a home run off Casey Mize, and then in the top half of the 5th inning with the 2 runners on, Jeimer Candelario just out of the reach of a jumping Adam Engel in center field, puts Detroit up by 2. Chicago would come back in their bottom half of the inning, you get a bunch of hits and tie it up, and now Brian Garcia will take it over in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Saw Garcia in the series opener throw a scoreless inning while striking out one, and he'll face Zach Collins, Adam Engel, and then the top of the Chicago order and Tim Anderson. Another good-looking young arm.
Yeah, I really like this kid's poise too. You get a feeling that every pitch has a purpose with him. Now he's going to have days where he's going to have more velocity and all that, but that's the life in the big leagues. You've got to take out what you have, right? Make the best of it. Falling behind here, he needs to get right back in this count.
Well, look, we've talked about this. We've talked about the young arms, and sure, we can talk about the starters, but guys like Soto, guys like Brian Garcia, they're as important moving forward too, aren't they?
Especially in today's game. Yeah. We're not going to see very many complete games anymore. The bullpen's going to be used almost every single game, and they're going to have to make their contribution.
Collins fouls it back.
Really good pitch there. Behind in the count, he paints the fastball away. Yeah, there's some great arms in the Tiger pen. This guy's one of them. He probably has a little bit a better command. He's got 3 pitches that he can command. Breaking ball, fastball, and a changeup.
Here's the 2-1. Back up the middle, but into the shift for Nico Goodrum, where the shift pays off again for the Tigers.
Oh, it was a good sequence there. He fell behind, and then he worked back even, got the ground ball, and it's so tempting for a pitcher to try to stick your glove out and make a play. But with this world that we're living in and all the shifts, Nico was right there.
Garcia spent a lot of the offseason on mobility gains. One day he'd lift with the upper body, one day the lower body, one day full body. Not hitting the weight super heavy like he used to. First pitch to Engels in there for strike 1. Did those workouts at his alma mater, University of Miami, down in Coral Gables. Jack's got a couple of houses down there.
Yeah, can't wait for the next hurricane.
Here's the 0-1. Fouled away.
Got in on him there. Again, Brian Garcia working ahead in the count.
Now the 0-2 in the dirt. Evan Marshall warming for Chicago. Looks like he'll get the 8th.
Yeah, he pitched in game 1 of this series. 1 inning of work, 1 strikeout.
Engel a fly out and a strikeout.
Comes a slider now from Garcia. Make sure it's away and down. You see the good target that Griner's giving him. And he got
swung on and missed. Engel now 0 for 10 against the Tigers this year. First strikeout of the night for Brian Garcia. To the top of the order for Tim Anderson.
Well, Tim Anderson has got a single already, and I thought Mize did a great job against him. You got to tip your hat for the pitch he hit. It was up a little bit, a fork ball that was up, or a split finger, I should say. Bottom of the zone fastball there.
There's an RBI single in the 5th.
Yeah.
And then he stole second base.
And scored.
Yep.
On that hit in an error from Moncada.
Chicago scoring twice in that 5th inning to tie it at 3. The 0-1 to Anderson. On the ground,
play.
easy hop for Paredes. Brian Garcia gets the White Sox 1-2-3 in the 7th. Stay with us for the 8th. Tigers top of the lineup, trying to do some damage. Here's our Miller Lite moment. It all belongs to Casey Mize, showing up at Guaranteed Rate Field for his Major League debut.
Yeah, that might have been the greatest moment of the day for him, for sure. But he went about his business quite nicely. His family's proud as heck, and they should be. That one is the one he'd like to have back. There's a slider that Edwin got, but a couple more punch-outs. And the end of the day, wanting to go back out there, he had a chance to have a shutdown inning qualify for the win, but either way, it's a first game of his Major League career, and he should be very proud of his effort.
4 1/3 innings, 3 runs, 7 strikeouts, no walks. Tied at 3, we head to the 8th. Evan Marshall is on for Chicago. 12th appearance of the year.
15. Is that right? 15 walks and 5 strikeouts? I think they got it backwards. It's probably 5 walks and 15 strikeouts.
In his last 28 appearances, he struck out 30, and opponents are hitting just a .173 off him. Faces Jeimer Candelario to start the 8th. Off speed in there to make it 1-1.
It's always been kind of a standard in pro baseball for a pitcher to have 3 times more strikeouts than walks. It's not double, it's 3 times. And that's exactly what I think Marshall has so far.
The 1-1 outside. Big night for Candelario. Doubled in the first, but was left stranded there. And after striking out in the 3rd, he hit that 3-run blast. His 2nd of the season. Now leads the team in multi-hit games with 7. Here's the 2-1. Oh, right back up the middle, but Anderson had him played perfectly.
That's where you kind of hope you get a piece of the body somehow. Ball reflects and doesn't go all the way to Anderson. Hit it hard. Marshall does a little dance, and Tim Anderson finishes it off.
Good swings by Candelario all night, though, and here's Nico Goodrum.
It's been a good game. Very even game.
Been,
It's time for Detroit to try to generate a run. Getting late, running out of opportunities. You don't want one swing by the White Sox to end your day.
Goodrum just a 148 hitter against righties, but does have a couple of homers. He's been in that 0-2 hole in each of the 3 at-bats tonight. Here's the 0-1. Blew it by him, 0-2.
That's a pitch that Nico should be able to handle right there. There's days that he does, and there's days that he gets beat. And, you know, it's kind of puzzling as to why.
Time for a StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Talked about the 7 strikeouts for Casey Mize.
Yeah, you see the purple are all the split finger fastballs. The one red one there, that's a fastball that he got a strikeout up, and then a couple on the slider. So a variety of pitches for Casey Mize, and very efficient night with no walks.
Another 0-2 to Goodrum inside. One of Goodrum's homers this year, one of the 4, did come against Chicago. Turned down one and yanked it foul.
Couldn't stay back enough. That was a changeup that was pretty much center cut. He got the barrel out just in front of where he wanted to, and he pulls it foul. There's a, see that circle change? Lays right over the middle. That's a mistake that a good hitter wants over and over and over again. On the slider here.
Good take.
Yes, it was. Change up coming.
Outside. Good at bat for Goodrum.
Yeah, he started out in the hole 0-2, and now he's worked count full.
Oh for 1 in his career against Marshall. Waits on the payoff.
Another changeup that was out of the zone down. Nico in kind of a protective mode. You see that circle change again, how it just sinks down in the zone out of the strike zone, and Nico swings over the top of it, fouls it off. He's worked the count a little bit.
Ninth pitch of the at-bat. Another one yanked foul.
The deeper this count goes, I think the advantage goes to the hitter. You know, as a pitcher, you go, I've shown him everything I have. What do I do now? You know, and you don't want to give in because you don't want to walk a guy that's potential go-ahead run. Hopefully Nico will stay in the zone, not chase, and help out this pitcher.
Another 3-2 and another foul.
Catcher's coming out right now because he just got crossed up, called for a change or a fastball up, and Marshall threw a changeup down. That's what this conversation's all about. Usually a catcher isn't terribly upset when you cross him up and it's a changeup that's thrown because he can recognize it. But when he's expecting an off-speed pitch and you throw the express and it can handcuff him, they can get a little annoyed with you.
And a little dangerous. Another 3-2. Swung on and missed. Marshall wins that 11-pitch at-bat battle, and Nico Goodrum strikes out for the 3rd time tonight.
Well located because Nico was in swing mode. Another changeup. Starts knee high and breaks down out of the zone.
Two away from Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera does have 38 career homers against Chicago, most of any active player.
Could he add one? Could he just add one right now? Wouldn't that be nice?
I would love that.
Well, there's 2 of us here tonight. We both would.
Dan Petrie's hoping for
3.
1-1 to Cabrera.
Simo 4.
Yeah. And probably Mickey York
yeah,
too.
Mick. We'll throw Mick in, even though he was wearing the wrong color suit tonight.
Good numbers against Chicago a year ago for Cabrera. Yeah, Mick felt like everybody. Everybody
there was no memo. We just sort of lucked into it.
Here's the 1-1. rifled right into the glove of Danny Mendick, and the Tigers go 1-2-3 in the 8th. That ball was hit hard. And White Sox deadlocked in a 3-3 tie as we head to the bottom of the 8th, and we get a chance to watch a flame-throwing lefty out of the Tigers' pen in Gregory Soto, his 12th appearance, and he will face Yoan Moncada, Jose Abreu, and Eloy Jimenez.
You know, managers, pitching coaches love to get a guy right back in the saddle, right?
Yeah.
Soto had a real tough time his last time out, did not record an out, and they get him right back in. I like to see this. Now he has to have a little redemption in mind, try to get ahead in the count, throw strikes.
Soto faced 4 batters last night, gave up 4 runs on a couple of hits. He walked a man and hit a batter as well. Facing Moncada, who singled his last time up in a 1-for-3 night.
This kid's got a magic arm himself, just so free and easy. And working ahead, Moncada's now in a hole. He needs some secondary pitches, though. He's got a great fastball. When he's on, he can locate it, and he usually locates it down. But what does he do when he has 2 strikes? That'll work.
See ya.
Pitching coach Matt Shepard. Yeah, that's a well-located fastball. Just locked him up right on the black inside corner.
You liked him last year, even though he struggled at times. I know you thought highly of him. You just felt like he needed to simplify his throwing motion.
Well,
he's done that.
Rick Anderson's really helped him with that. It's more of a slide step now. Just take a little of the whole motion of his delivery out and try to get him to keep that shoulder still, focus on the target.
Abreu sprays one to deep right. Bonifacio going back, and that ball's out of here.
It's a fly ball. But that's what 97 will do. It generates a little bit extra carry, and I just did not think that was a home run.
Just far enough as his teammates in the stands salute Jose Abreu, his 5th homer of the year, and it's given Chicago a 1-run lead.
The thing about Abreu is he's so smart, and he knows that Soto is a fastball pitcher primarily, so he's sitting on it. Got a piece of it. Fly ball to right. Hopefully that won't be the game winner.
Two solo homers for Chicago tonight. That's 10 multi-homer games in their last 25. 10.
I think it's kind of self-explanatory right there. Simple swing. Ball kind of up over the middle.
It's a good example of a hitter using a pitcher's strength. Right?
Just getting short to the ball. Simo talks about it all the time. Just compact short to the ball, because that guy's going to generate a lot of the energy.
Jimenez fouls it back. Did make a loud sound. We just didn't think it had 346 feet in it.
Blowing kisses to those. Oh, there is.
Yeah, no, his teammates. Yeah, they're up there.
I thought we were showing the bullpen out there. That was actually behind home plate there by the dugout.
Right, that's right. Chance for the players to social distance and keep themselves safe. Taking a ball game and cheer on their teammates. Another 3-2 to Jimenez. Paredes with good range, 2 away. excited for this pitching matchup presented by Wallside Windows. Spencer Turnbull has been Detroit's most reliable starter. Lucas Giolito, who came over in the trade with Washington with tonight's earlier starter, Dane Dunning, is trying to get on track for Chicago. His number's a little elevated more than they expected. 1 o'clock with Tigers Live with Mickey York, Dan Petrie, and Craig Monroe.
Both good pitchers there. It should be another good pitching matchup.
Pulled the string on Encarnacion to make it 0-1. Encarnacion with the solo homer in the second and then struck out in each of his last 2 at-bats. A wave and a miss to make it 0-2. Skubal on your right. Tarek Skubal started last night making his major league debut. Casey Mize was sharp in his major league debut tonight. He's on your left.
Yeah, 2 good friends right there, both experiencing their major league debuts and back-to-back nights, and they share a lot of information together. I think you're going to have a pretty tight-knit pitching staff with those 2 guys added to it. The older brother will become Matthew Boyd, and Spencer Turnbull will be a part of that group.
Encarnacion belts it to deep left. That's gone. A 2-homer night for the Chicago White Sox designated hitter.
Yeah, he worked himself into a fastball, didn't he? Two-seam fastball, up and out over the plate.
And the Parrot comes jogging home. Suddenly a 2-run lead for Chicago with Nomar Mazara standing in against Gregory Soto. Another lesson learned. You can throw it at 98. You can pump it in at 99. A lot of these guys will catch up to it.
You need more than one pitch. You need to locate more than one. Get rid of it.
Good feed by Candelario to Soto.
Good job by Soto.
Yeah, they sure was. And he got Mazara, but a couple of solo homers for the White Sox have given him a 2-run lead. Jonathan Scope has that in his bag of tricks too, perhaps. He did it the other day. He could use one here tonight, and so could the Tigers as we head to the ninth.
Monroe, the preview of what's coming up after the game on Tigers Live. And Dan, I'm guessing a lot of the show will be dedicated to Casey Mize.
Yeah, we're going to break down just what makes Casey Mize so tough and take you through all the emotions of his outing. And Simo, you got something to say about Candy, I guess.
Well, you know what? I'm watching Candy from the left side make some adjustments. I'll tell you what those adjustments are on the post-game show.
All right, all that. Plus, we'll get to Casey Mize's own evaluation of his outing tonight, plus the skipper's thoughts on that as well. As soon as this one is over on Tigers Live. But Tigers looking for a rally as we send it back to Shep and Jack for the night.
They need it, Mick. Thanks, fellas. Alex Colomé is on, the closer for Chicago, to work the ninth against Jonathan Scope, Victor Reyes, and Jorge Bonifacio. Colomé has made 8 straight scoreless appearances to open the year. Look at the whip, .75, and converted all 5 save opportunities.
He's been a good back end of the bullpen guy for quite a while.
Scope doesn't mind facing him.
You just got to take baby steps right here. Try to get the leadoff man on. Go from there. See if you can put some pressure back on. Make those guys sweat a little.
Scope's been aboard a couple of times, a single and a walk. The 0-2. Good take to make it 2-2. Matt Boyd, a big influence for those young pitchers, Casey Mize and Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, he's like a big brother.
Yep.
He's going to kind of teach them a lot, and they pay attention to him. All hard-working guys right there. Should be a fun time going forward.
I remember in summer camp when Mize was jogging with Matthew Boyd and just picking his brain on the constant workouts and just soaking up as much knowledge as he can give him. Pitchers are kind of like offensive linemen in football, aren't they? They stay together and they talk the game through all the time.
Well, we're so shunned by hitters, you know. We don't know anything, and all we do is give up gopher balls.
Scope pokes one to left. Jimenez is there, one away, and the Tigers.
We've got to keep our own little group together because most hitters don't think too much of us.
You don't want to call it a clique? It's a little cliquey.
Oh, we're always welcoming. You know, any hitter that wants to come join the party, they're always welcome.
There you go. Here's Victor Reyes. Reyes 1 for 3 in his career against Colomé with a couple of strikeouts. First pitch strike. Sharply hit, but foul. Reyes' lone homer on the season came left-handed. That in .244 against right-handed pitching. As the Tigers box score, Candelario carrying the load. Went too far, 2 away.
Just a hard breaking ball down the dirt, but Victor was looking fastball and he was committed too early. He had a tough night tonight. You don't see him strike out 3 times very often, but that was number 3 for Victor tonight.
He and Nico Goodrum have each struck out 3 times. And Kristen Stewart is pinch hitting for Jorge Bonifacio. First pitch swinging, fly ball to right, and a 1-2-3 ninth for Alex Colomé. Chicago's won 4 in a row. Tigers' losing streak has now reached 8. Let's send it to Mickey York at the Xfinity desk. Mick?
All right, Shep, thank you. Coming up on Tigers Live, all eyes were on Mize tonight. We'll take a look at what he showed tonight in his Major League debut. Analytics told Gardy to move Jeimer Candelario to the leadoff spot. Why were the analytics right? We'll take a look at that. And Ron Gardenhire's comments on all this and much more. Tigers Live begins in a couple of minutes right now.